Vamos a ver la historia de una de las leyendas del Fortnite internacional. Probablemente uno de los claros ejemplos de cómo llevar una carrera profesional de Fortnite y combinarla a la par de ser top de tu servidor con una de las mayores marcas personales que ha creado el Fortnite. Hoy vamos a ver el mini documental de 18 minutos que ha hecho Aussie Antics. Shout out para Aussie, seguirle por Dios, que está haciendo un contenido brutal de la historia de la leyenda norteamericana de Clix. Vamos a verlo.
Fortnite, there's been a lot of pro players. There's been a lot of content creators. But rarely has someone managed to succeed so heavily at both. From playing in the biggest tournaments in the world,
de jugar a los torneos más grandes a crear el contenido más grande de internet.
It's the Big Clix.
¡Qué leyenda! ¡Qué leyenda! Y la realidad es que es una leyenda. Con 14 años, 6 veces clasificado, al Mundial.
Cody Clix Conrad was born in Connecticut, United States on January 7th, 2005. He first began
Dale a like si te gusta Clix.
on Minecraft and Call of Duty. He would sneak into his brother's room and use his PC. Even at this young
Se metió en el ordenador de su hermano y empezó a probar el Fortnite,
He always knew he was good at video games, but it was with the introduction of Fortnite that his dreams of becoming a professional gamer could finally come true.
¡Qué barbaridad!
Fortnite
¡Qué joven!
was exploding and creating careers overnight. Let's go!
¡Qué recuerdos, ¡Qué momentos, ¡Qué momentos! Doctor Lupo con Ninja, Team de Tatman.
Hey, Tim, let's go!
Buah, bro.
Come here, Jimmy.
Comment and subscribe below to the channel.
Qué barbaridad de días realmente.
Oh,
Cuando te morías de caída sin querer.
It wouldn't be so easy for Clix though. He didn't have his own PC or even a proper setup to try and go pro.
No tenía
Clix
setup,
wasn't
no
just
tenía
some
PC.
spoiled kid whose parents were going to let him drop out of school and buy him a $10,000 setup.
Sus padres no querían dejarle de inicio. Y firmó un contrato con su padre donde accedía a comprarle un PC, pero que le iba a ir devolviendo el dinero. ¡Wow,
Just how good he was.
And 2.5 weeks later,
Flipa su padre,
Dad, guess how much money I made? Guess how much money I made? I says, I don't know, $200. He goes, no. Check
¿Qué
this
dinero
out.
hago, no?
So
Y a
it's
partir
like,
de ahí
I need
decidieron, ¿no? Viendo un poco lo poquito que iba ingresando, hicieron un contrato con su padre.
Clix had to really prove that he could make this a career. At this point,
Y demostró que esto...
Clix was streaming to between 20 to 100 average viewers. It was these early days where people got their first glimpse of
entre 20 y 100 viewers tenía en 2019, ¿no? 20 y 100 viewers,
He would stream anything from scrims to build fights, all while uploading montages and
Escrimeaba,
highlights to YouTube.
jugaba de todo, subía highlights.
Throughout this period, little did he know everything was about to change.
Pero
In March of 2019, Epic Games
se anunció el Mundial.
World Cup.
¿Cómo cambió la vida el Mundial a tantas personas, ¿Cómo cambió la vida a tanta gente?
I don't think he knows that he's got the health advantage, because otherwise he would just drop down, right? Like,
Es que fue un meta-changing, cambió la vida a tanta gente.
Clix being a potential favorite to qualify was picked up by Misfits Gaming.
Lo pilló
before the
Misfits, es
qualifiers
verdad,
even
¿os
began.
acordáis? Misfits,
This was it. He was now a professional gamer. However, the job was far
Ahí
from
ya
done.
era jugador profesional,
With
¿no?
millions of players competing around the world and only 100 solo and 50 duo spots, you had to be the best of
Pero
the
tenías
best.
que ser de lo mejor para poder
Clix
clasificar. Pero Clix lo era. Sacadita,
He managed to qualify not once, not twice, but
Y
5
clasificó
times to the
5
Fortnite
veces
World
eso. He
Cup,
dicho 6 antes,
qualifying in almost
5.
every single week of solos and qualifying alongside his org
Qué
mate
barbaridad.
Skeptic in duos.
Y con el
This would
Skeptic
see
en
an
dúos, es verdad,
explosion of growth for Clix's Twitch
Y
channel,
ahí empezó a petar su
skyrocketing from an
Twitch.
average of 133 viewers
Pasó
in
de
April of 2019
133
at the
viewers
start
de
of
media en
World Cup qualifiers,
2019
to finishing on an
a-
average of over 8,000 viewers
a
in
terminar
July.
con 8.000 viewers de media. 8.000 viewers de media. Un 6.000% de crecimiento.
Yet with this explosion in growth and notoriety, Clix also found himself in controversy and drama.
Y ahí
One of his
empezó
major
también el
keys to success
clics
and
de
foundations
contenido,
of
¿no?
his fighting was the ability to almost always take his opponent's walls first try. This was when wall taking was considered a highly advanced mechanic and
Las
few
box
people
fight
were
de
doing
clics,
it, and those
¿Cuántos
who
de
were
vosotros
could
os
not do it
acordáis de la
anywhere
época
near as well as Clix?
de box fight de
Many people
clics?
began to accuse Clix of using macros or cheats to take players' walls first try.
Usaba macros para pillar las paredes a la primera.
Are you 20?
Yeah, no, 1.
No go. Oh, no. It was a keybind. It was a keybind. I swear.
With most people realizing Clix wasn't using any illegal software or cheats,
Cuando la gente se dio
people
cuenta
even
que
began to
Clix
start
no usaba
rumors that the
absolutamente
candy
nada.
axe he used had special abilities to take players' walls. People couldn't believe he was just that good. All this drama
La gente
only
no
fueled
se
Clix's
creía que era
growth, and
simplemente
coming into
bueno,
the
¿no?
World Cup, he was one of the favorites to take home the crown in solos.
Ladies and gentlemen,
¡Buah! Todavía se me ponen los pelos de punta cada vez que veo esto, ¿eh?
World Cup Finals live from New York.
I'm here with 14-year-old Misfits
14 años, ¿eh? Es que King fue con 13, pero este colega con 14.
This must be the biggest moment of your young life, I'm assuming.
100%. This is one of the biggest moments. Millions of people are going to be watching this.
He's saving those. Don't you worry. I guarantee before too long, a player like this is going to make plays. Sitting the edge of the storm, the box up. He's going for headed shots. Big hit. My gosh. The outside. Luka picking up his 6th elimination.
While we all know who won World Cup, Clix ended up placing 18th in solos and 35th in duos. His solo placement
Qué
especially
barbaridad.
being very respectable, but some people were still disappointed.
Aún así hubo
due to
gente que se
qualifying
decepcionó
for
porque iba como
almost
muy
every single
favorito, es
week.
verdad,
Clix
pero por
bounced back
la
quickly,
popularidad, yo
though.
creo.
When I was about to see Trios become the competitive game mode for the first time ever, and Clix found himself playing alongside the two biggest names in the scene, FaZe
Buah,
Sway and
entre
T2,
Sway y
which
Tui.
led
Es
to
que ese
some
trío, chat,
incredible content.
Este trío,
We can take height. I RPG'd him out. Nice.
Este trío, bro. Es que yo creo que aquí pegó el boom. Ese fue el boom, tío. El boom de... Este trío les puso a los tres.
However, it unfortunately didn't lead to the placements they were looking for. Clix, Spades, and Crims, however, were a different story. Placing first in numerous weeks of FNCS Season X qualifiers, they were one of the favorites going into the grand finals. While not being able to bring home the title, a 7th place was still a very solid finish.
El
This
top
did
7, es
begin to
verdad.
spell the story of Clix's competitive career. While I would have put it nicer, Mongrel did sum it up while talking to Clix about his placements.
Where did you place the solo World Cup? So not even on shut up.
Este clip, ¿eh? ¡Taxi!
Clix was by no means
Buah,
placing
eso...
poorly. He just
yo no sé si os acordáis de ese clip, bro. Ese clip flexeando mi colega Mongral de los tops a Clix. Es que son clips históricos, ¿eh? Clips históricos, ¿eh? Como el clip de Mongral matando a Aqua. Es que Mongral era demasiado, tío. Mongral, es que esa época teníamos leyendas del contenido jugando, tío, al máximo nivel. Era espectacular, tío. Es que estaban... Era gente muy carismática y que encima era muy buena, bro. Y que encima hacía 8 horas de directo al día, bro.
just had higher expectations going into finals that he couldn't seem to deliver on. Yet it wouldn't be his placements that would see the next surge in growth for his channel. Actually, quite the opposite. It was during one of the darkest periods in competitive Fortnite in Chapter 2 Season 1, with next to no tournaments, content feeling dry and boring.
Es verdad que hubo una época que no había torneos. Fue justo en la época en la que no había torneos que él empezó a hacer lo de las Waggers de Boxfight, ¿no? Lo del 100-0, el 100-0, que la gente jugaba contra él, sus viewers jugaban contra él a ver si le ganaban, ¿no? Y no le ganaba a nadie.
Clix's average viewership skyrocketed from 8,000 in January of 2020 to over 20,000 by March. With millions of people tuning in.
Qué barbaridad, Aquí multiplicó los viewers, Aquí multiplicó los viewers por 20.000, bro.
Personality and interactions with the other biggest names in the scene.
You keep talking, I'm leaving, I'm refunding you. I'm not even joking. No one likes you. Shut up. Type 2 if this is the most annoyingest kid you ever talked to.
Y hubo mucho salseo. Es verdad que en esa época ya había mucho salseo,
This was when people truly got to see what I believe to be the key to Clix's success. Not just his ability to be insanely good at Fortnite, but entertain massive amounts of people with his personality and natural ability to create content.
Y es verdad que aquí se vio de verdad que era un muy buen creador de contenido, muy bueno.
While there were pros such as Mr. Savage and Mongrel pulling in insane viewership, they weren't building the community and following that Clix was. It was around this time I truly believe Clix made a conscious decision to continue pursuing competitive Fortnite, but use his platform to build a community that would survive past.
Es verdad que creó una comunidad.
In July of 2020, Clix would announce his signing to NRG.
Y ahí entró en NRG ya, tú. Bro, qué
history.
cambiado el Benjamín, tú. El Benjamín es probablemente el pro player que más ha cambiado, Con mucha diferencia, Es otro, tío.
Becoming the crowning jewel in unarguably the most stacked roster in Fortnite. With a few solid finishes throughout squads and solo FNCS, it was in Chapter 2, Season 4, the Marvel season, and the return of trios that
Capítulo 2, temporada 4, ¿no?
finally break the Grand Finals curse. Paired up with veteran IGL Bizzle and one of the
con
newest,
Ijex y con
scariest
Bizzle, es
fighters
verdad.
in the
Con
game,
Ijex y con
Things were
Bizzle.
looking great, and during the qualifiers they secured a 4th, 5th,
Que terminaron
second.
top 4,
However,
top 5 y
the
top
finals
2.
would yet again prove to be Clix's downfall,
Pero la
placing in
final de
14th.
Clix
The Clix curse
siempre...
was looking like it
No
would
conseguía
never be
performear
broken.
nunca Clix
The
en
last
finales,
5
tío,
FNCSs in a row, all
A ver, top
following the
14, ¿no?
same
Que es
pattern.
bomba, pero...
Consistent high placements in the qualifiers to then struggle in the finals. To break this curse would require one of the most stacked teams we've ever seen.
Buah, la BBC. La BBC. La BBC, Clix, Bizzle y Buga, La BBC, La BBC. ¿Cuál sería la alternativa a la BBC en Europa? A ver si el chat lo sabe. ¿Cuál es la alternativa de la BBC en Europa? La MMB, La MMB.
Go, Bizzle! Let's go, baby! Let's go, Bizzle!
After placing third in the last trio FNCS, Booga's
Y
decision
terminaron
to split
top
with
3,
Avery and Jampa to instead play with Clix and Bizzle confused a lot of people. But it did look like the team to break the Clix curse. A 5th place. Not the FNCS
Ah, no, terminaron
crown
top
many were
5,
hoping
es
for,
verdad.
but the best placement Clix has had in an FNCS Grand Finals ever. And with another season of trios around the corner and the team sticking together,
Grande Nextron,
things were
ahora te
looking
agradezco.
good. Sadly, Chapter 2, Season 6 would prove to be the worst performance of all 3 members' careers. Getting locked into a heated spawn
Buah,
battle
qué liada lo de
against Gabe,
Sweetie.
Tahi, and Sprite,
Qué
at
liada
Sweaty
lo de
Sands, they
Sweetie,
didn't even
bro.
make it into the reboot rounds, meaning they had no
No,
chance to
horroroso,
qualify for the
horroroso.
grand
Esto
final.
fue
The fallout of
criminal,
this
bro.
team's performance can
La que
still
le
be
liaron
seen
a
today,
Bizzle,
with many people blaming Lizzle for their off-spawn troubles.
La que le
It
liaron
also
a
didn't
Bizzle.
help after all of this, Gabe, Tahi, and Sprite would go on to make reboot rounds and pull off one of the most memorable clutches in Fortnite history, securing their spot in the grand finals without Clix.
El Ronaldo, tú.
1v2 situation. Oh my god.
Now it's a 1v1 situation.
Buah, es que este late fue espectacular del Sprite,
If he clutches this 1v3, this is the most clutch play we've ever seen in Fortnite competitive history. I don't think there's been anything
Es que fue
better.
espectacular, bro.
Oh my God.
Haciendo el 1 para 3.
No! Calc! What are you doing?
Qué
You just
barbaridad.
got 1v3'd.
1 para 3.
Sadly, Clix did not bounce back well from this performance, going on to struggle in all remaining FNCS tournaments for the rest of Chapter 2. It was time for change. It was time
Tocó
for a
cambiar.
new era.
Tocó una nueva era.
If you don't know competitive Fortnite,
Clix
at a high level,
IGL.
most teams will have a designated IGL or leader. The player who
Para quien no
calls the
sepa
shots
qué es
and
un
makes the
IGL, es la
decisions.
persona que toma las
While this takes a lot
decisiones
of experience
en el
and
equipo, ¿no?
understanding of the game,
In-game
if
leader.
you want to have full control over your performance, this is the role you need to be. With the announcement of duos as the competitive game mode for all of 2022, Clix, sick of the Clix curse and wanting to take things into his own hands,
Y con
found
el
the
anuncio de
scariest
dúo-
duo he could in Day and decided to try his hand at leading.
Boom. Boom.
Oh my god. Checking him.
Beam. Beam.
Let's go, baby.
Baby, come on. No longer just doing zone wars and box fights on stream for content, but actually hitting the VODs, getting a coach and taking his performances.
Aquí ya se lo
into
tomó
his
en
own
serio,
hands.
con un
This was not
coach
even
haciendo
diving into the
análisis,
deep end. This was
cambió
flying headfirst
Clix
into
por
the ocean.
completo, se
Clix,
convirtió de
never having
verdad
IGL'd before,
en
was
un
gonna
pro
try and
player.
take the reins over one of the most aggressive and difficult fraggers to control in the history of Fortnite. Things were off to a slow start for the NRG duo in Chapter 3 Season 1, placing 27th in the first qualifier and 16th in the second qualifier.
Se complicó con
Many
Day,
people questioning Clix's decision to IGL, telling him
Pero
he should
fue
just
la
stick to
primera
frag.
vez también que hizo
However, a
DGL.
sixth place in semifinals had a lot of people surprised and began to pay attention. Maybe a slow start but strong finish would finally break the Clix curse, and the team ended on a very respectable 7th in Grand Finals.
Y terminaron
While not the
bastante
best
decentes,
performance
¿sí?
of Clix's career, his first time in a new role
Por
shocked
ser la
many
primera
with
vez
his ability
exacto
to
en un
mature
rol.
as a player
Primera vez
and
de
a person.
IGL. Mirad lo que le ha
Things were
pasado
picking up.
también a King. Es
With
muy
another
difícil
season of
cambiar de
duos,
rol.
Clix and Day would run it back, but unfortunately could not replicate the same success. After an up and down qualifying run, they made it to the grand finals only to place 35th.
35, se complicó.
Community, myself included, urged Clix to go back to being a fragger as he was wasting his mechanics.
Y todo el
and
mundo le
wasn't going
dijo
to
que
make it as an
siguiera
IGL.
siendo fragger, que es lo que se le da bien, que tiene buenas mecánicas. Pero Clix dijo que no, que iba a splitear a Day y que iba a buscar a Duke para que le siguiera y que los dos, uno jugó de IGL y el otro de fragger. Qué barbaridad.
Clix alongside Dukes got a 4th place in FNCS
Top
Grand
4 en la
Final. His
FNCS,
best placement
Top
ever,
4.
proving to himself and everyone that he can 100% make it as an IGL. And before Chapter 3 was over, he had one final chance to prove it on the world stage at the FNCS Invitation.
Y llegó el invitacional de Carolina del Norte.
A difficult spawn fight between Clix and Pink would unfortunately cause
Lo que la pelea del Early contra Pinku, la pelea del Early contra Pinku fue horrorosa. Eso sí, ganaron una partida. Eso sí, ganaron una partida.
While many would consider this an underwhelming performance, given their circumstances, Clix was happy with the result, and heading into Chapter 4 continued to be one of the most talked about pros in the competitive scene.
Y veremos en el capítulo 4, ¿no? ¿Cuál es el futuro de Clix? ¿Es más importante el contenido o competir para él? Guga le preguntó eso, ¿no? Le dijo, ¿cuál es el...?
I mean, I just want to succeed in everything. I'm telling you right now, if I stopped streaming and I, let's just say, fell off, but I'm doing good in comp, I would be so... I wouldn't give a fuck about comp.
Dice que quiere la mezcla, ¿no? Quiere ser lo mejor en todo. Quiere el contenido y quiere competir al máximo nivel. Lo quiere todo. Y eso es lo que ha hecho que llegue donde está, ¿no?
Hosted streams and events that have impacted the entire internet. he has conclusively proven he is not
Pero
just
ha
a Fortnite
probado
kid.
muchas
You'll
veces
still
que no
see
solo
him
es un
at the top of
Fortnite
the
player,
Fortnite
sino que es un
category
creador
anytime
de
in his life,
contenido en
but
toda
he's
regla, ¿no?
developed so much more than that. A new chapter for Clix has now started, and while making this video, I've realized just how much he's grown in this period. He'll still make stupid jokes.
I love when you stick your cone inside of my butt.
He still thinks he's jacked.
You see that? You see that?
But he's still one of the biggest faces in the Fortnite scene, and I
Pero
don't
sigue
think
siendo las
that's gonna
grandes
change
caras.
for a very
¡Qué
long time.
leyenda Clix! La leyenda de Clix. Auténtica barbaridad.